Okay, in the last video, we prepared our images, our assets for this animation. I have some PNGs, Photoshop files, different layers, transparent background PNGs, JPEGs, all ready to go. I have that in an images folder within my animation folder where I'm going to save my original files here, my working files. Okay, so for this project, I'm going to do an ActionScript 3.0. First thing I should do, File, Save As, and save it in my folder. Mine's on my desktop. Animation, I'm going to save it right here in this folder. I'm going to title it Save. I'm going to prepare my stage. You should do your stage whatever size you need it. And once again, you can always prepare your images ahead of time if you know what size you need them to be so they'll fit on your stage and be optimized for your animation. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is import to the stage to show you how you can import something directly to the stage. And that's my background image. There it is. There we are. Next, I'm going to import my character. File, import. I'm bringing this to the library. And there's my character. I'm going to say open. It's going to be an option. I can bring in every layer or just select specific layers I want. I can convert them to animate layers, single animate layer, or keyframes. I'm going to say animate layers. Flatten my bitmap image. Now I'm going to keep my bitmap image with editable layer styles. And everything else should be fine. And I can import. Now if I look to my library, there he is. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is come over here to my layer. My layer 1 background, I'm going to give that a title, background, or change the name of that. And I can come down here and add a new layer by clicking on a new layer icon. And change the name of that one to the name of my character. And then I'm going to bring that character, the main part of that character, which is his body, to that layer. I'll worry about resizing him and stuff later, but there he is. Well, I want to make this character have an animation, have some motion with his limbs, and then when I bring him back here into the main scene, he's going to fly across here while moving those limbs a couple times. Okay? So in order to do an animation within this larger animation, I'm going to have to click on my character here, modify, and convert it to a symbol. I can name him. And there's 3 types of symbols: movie clips, which you can do all the effects and animations, everything; graphic for very simple animations; and buttons for interactivity. So for this, we're going to make it a movie clip. And I'm going to say OK. So now I can animate this character or add different elements to it, or do effects or filters on it. So to access this character's timeline, which is a separate timeline from the main timeline, I can double click him. And now I'm on his own timeline. Up here it says Iron Man symbol. I have him selected, and it's his timeline. Now in here the body is just called layer 1, so I can change that to torso or body, or whatever you want to call it. Now I have 4 other elements I'm going to put in here. So I can go ahead and make all 4 of those layers. I should put them in here in order. This is his right leg. This one's going to be his right arm. I'm referring to the library section over here. This one's going to be his left arm. And I need one more layer, which is going to be his... Actually, I already have the body, so I don't need that layer. So let me delete this layer. Good. So now I'm ready to bring out the rest of these elements. Go to the right leg layer and bring out his right leg. I can click over here and just drag it right out here. I can zoom in and put that in place. I want this at the starting point where it's going to start with in the animation. Next, I'm going to bring in the right arm. Put him in place. Now, actually, these I need to put behind the torso, so I can click these layers and bring them behind the torso. Next, the left arm. And he's going to be in front of the torso, so I'll leave that one right there. And I can say I'm missing one more. I forgot about the left leg. And I know that one's going to be behind the torso, so I'm dragging that layer down. And I'll bring that left leg out here. There we are. I can zoom in, Command plus to make sure it's in place. If I accidentally keep selecting the layer, I can lock that layer until I put the other one in place. Good, now I can unlock that layer. There's my character assembled. Well, now I got to animate this character. And these are repetitive motions that he will do throughout the larger animation. Now I got to determine how long my larger animation is going to be. I think I'm going to make my larger ones 6 seconds. And I have to calculate how long I want the animation to be for this nested animation, or how long the character's little animations are going to be. Sort of like if I was making a butterfly animation, I'd have that butterfly flapping his wings, maybe for a second. And then I'd take that butterfly into a larger 6-second animation, so that butterfly would flap his wings 6 times as it's moving across the screen. Same type of thing here. I think I'm going to do a 2-second, a little short 2-second animation here, so it'll repeat a couple times on my larger animation. We're at 24 frames per second, so 2 seconds would put me at 48 frames. So I can go to my 48 level here, 48 frame, click at the top one, hold the shift key down, click at the bottom one, right click, insert frame. Now that will repeat all those elements of that character for 2 seconds. Good. Now what I want to do is think about what kind of motion am I going to have, then position my character's arms and legs in the starting position. Okay, so I can go move the frame 1 if I want. First I can click that arm. I think I want the arm to come from the top, or actually from the bottom, it comes up, then back down. So I want it to be a repeated loop. I want to go to my free transform. I'm going to move that rotation point to the natural rotation point of the body, and then rotate this arm to the starting point. Maybe right about there. Now, what I could also do, view rulers, I can bring out some guidelines and put them next to that, right to the bottom of that hand, so I know if I want to line it back up, I can line it back up there. Good. So that's the left arm. And now I got it set up and ready to go. At the starting point, now I can right click anywhere within that layer and say create motion tween. There we are. Now I want this to go up and come back, so I need at least one keyframe within this longer tween, this longer motion tween or animation. So I'm clicking somewhere within there. I'm going to do a right click, insert a keyframe. I'm going to put all. Okay, then here at this keyframe, I'm still in free transform. I'm going to move this guy up to the highest point it's going to move. Good. Then I'm going to my last frame, and I'm going to simply rotate him back down to the beginning. I have the guideline there so I can line it back up perfectly. All right, so a little bit of motion there. Maybe I'll do a little bit more right here. I'm going back to this keyframe here. I'm going to move that guy up a little bit more. There we go. Make it a little more drastic. I can also click on this motion tween, go to my properties, and I can do an ease, maybe an ease of 80. And I'll just give it a little more of a natural flow when it moves. Good. I can test this by clicking the loop option down here and clicking play. It's just going to loop a little bit, so let me stretch out my looping scope here so it covers the whole animation. If I press play, it'll show me something pretty close to what it'll look like. Looks like it's going a little bit slow. Alright, good. So it gives me a pretty good idea what it's going to look like. I think it looks pretty good. I just want to make sure that hand comes back to the starting point so it can loop continuously. Alright, next I'm going to do the right arm. Click on that layer. I'm on free rotate or free transform. I'm going to put that rotation point to the natural rotation point of the arm. And I'm going to put that in the starting point. So I think I'm going to start it down here somewhere. Good. Alright, nice. Now I'm going to click anywhere within that right arm layer and create a motion tween. It's going to say it's going to convert to a symbol. That's okay. Right there, I'm also going to insert a keyframe and take that arm out to the highest, Command Z, to move that rotation point. Rotate that arm out to the highest point that I want it to go. And then I'm going to bring it to the final frame and bring it back. Oh, one thing I forgot. Let me go back to frame 1. I forgot to bring down the guideline so I can line that hand up perfectly. You can bring the guideline down by clicking on your ruler and dragging out the guideline. Okay, let me go to the ending frame and bring that hand back down. Double check it. Good. Now let me do the right leg. Once again, I want to position it, move that rotation point. Let me right click and create a motion tween. Okay, I gotta move that rotation point again to the hip. Go to frame 1, position it at the starting position. Go out here in between, right click, insert keyframe, bring it out to the farthest point, and then bring it back. Oh, one more thing I forgot, the guideline. I can drag out a guideline here. Then repeat it. Bring that back on the last frame to the same spot. Okay, now I'm doing simple out and back animations. You could do all kinds of animations you want, any animation. I know this is going to loop, so I want it to feel natural by going out and coming back. Next, I'm doing my left leg. Right click. Create motion tween. Okay. Go to frame 1. And put it at its starting point. I'm just going to move it in the loop. Command Z. Let me lock that torso so I don't accidentally grab it. Grab that right leg. Move that rotation point to the natural rotation point on the human anatomy. Rotate that in just a little bit. And come out here. I'm going to right click. Insert keyframe. Remember, the keyframe means you can do changes. Now there, I'm going to bring that out as far as I want it to go. And then at the end frame, bring it back. Well, I think I moved that beginning frame, so I have to move the guideline, put out a guideline here. Put out a guideline that lines up with this side of the thigh. There we go. Now let me go to the end, the last frame, and then bring that guy back in until he lines up. Good. So he's doing a little bit of flying through there, trying to balance. I think I'm going to change this guy here. Looks like he's got to go to the bathroom or something while he's moving, so I don't like that. For this guy, I'm going to start him out this way. Drag my guideline out here. I think for this one, I'm going to rotate him sort of this way. So more of a subtle motion. And then bring him back. Check that. Move it over a little bit, tiny bit more. Loop it, test it. So that's going to be your little 2-second animation. He's flying through the air. Good. Now I put an ease on that one. I can put an ease on some of these other ones. I can put an ease on the, I think it's that arm. I can put an ease on this one. And an ease on that one. And an ease on the left leg. Good. Play it. Now things start out a little more natural. Move around a little more natural instead of just at one speed. They sort of move at different speeds. Okay, let me stop that. File save. Now I'm going to go back to my main scene. In our next video, I'll animate this character with a nested animation. I'll animate it across the actual scene. I've saved it.